Morning, guys. Alright, so welcome back to another week of reading/video sessions. Last week we covered Microsoft Word and different word processors. So this week we're moving on. Again, nothing new. We covered PowerPoint during our school days, and today we're gonna review some of that and then maybe go through some extra stuff maybe some of you have missed since then. So reason why we have presentation software, which is the category given to applications like PowerPoint, just like how word processors are the name category given to applications like Microsoft Word, is we use these software because we can convey a lot more information to the users or the audience using a software and a projector rather than just speaking. Because just like with this lesson today, I am conveying a lot more information by speaking and explaining, and also showing you the screen on my computer because you can look and visually see what I'm talking about. And I guess you can't really see what someone is talking about physically there, not technically I should mean, but at least with PowerPoint or presentation software we can provide an image at least of something that we're talking about, or to give a better idea of what we're talking about. So that's why we use presentation software. It's more impressive or visually impressive for someone to see what someone is talking about rather than just have them talking, right? So in this image here you have different applications that you can use besides PowerPoint, and these are free alternatives. So you have Canva, Google Slides, Prezi, Forest, and Visme. Google Slides would be the best one, I would say, in terms of ease of access, because all of you should have a Gmail account, or should at least create one by now, and you can use Google Slides for free along with your Gmail account. Alright, there's the apps for it, but I wouldn't recommend creating a presentation using the app simply because you have a very small screen to work with, right? It's a lot better to work with PowerPoint using a computer. So we begin with the basics, our slides. Alright, a slide is like a single page or view of your slideshow or of your presentation, and what you see here in this main view in the middle, this huge view that says click to add title, that's called our title slide or our main slide. Sorry, I got lost there. I wanted to say that the view here is our slide view, and the slide that I have open right now is the title slide. So let's repeat that one more time. All this large area here that you can see is the slide view, and that's where we edit our slides. That's where we start adding images, text, audio, video, whatever you want to incorporate into your presentation on this specific slide. That's what you put here. But since this is a title slide, PowerPoint gives us two placeholders. Placeholders are these two areas that says click to add title or click to add subtitle. If I run the slideshow right now, it's empty. That's because placeholders are not shown. Now, they're not shown when the slideshow is beginning or it's happening. It's there just to let you know that, alright, we know this is a title page or a title slide, and we recommend that you add something here, and in this case they're recommending you add a title. So if I were to write a title on IT and PowerPoint, that might be my title. Subtitle is usually reserved for things like the name of the presenter, maybe the class, maybe the date if it's relevant, and whatever sub information that you might think can help with your title page to help introduce yourself to the audience and to also let the audience know what you're going to be talking about today. So in your readings in the Word file, I have a little image here that shows more or less the different parts we've covered. One part we haven't covered yet is the slide sorter. The slide sorter is this area on the left hand side. It shows a mini version of all your slides, and you can use this area to drag and rearrange slides how you see fit. Maybe one slide isn't a good match for being the first one, so maybe you'd want to rearrange them, and you simply click and drag this slide and you will be able to rearrange them. You can also right click on this slide and it'll give you a bunch of options, and you can use any of these options how you see fit. If you want to add a new slide, you select new slide. If you want to duplicate this exact slide, for example, you like how it's laid out, you like how the structure of it is, you can duplicate it. You can add a different section. You can change the layout of this slide. For example, this one that is open right now is title and content. If I wanted to change it to to content, then I can change it to content, and so forth and so forth, right? This will take some practice. If you want to find out more about these different features, then you just go ahead and select it, and if anything goes wrong, you can always undo your changes up here with the button that says undo. Alright, so we talked about the slide view, we can edit. We talked about the slide sorter, where it gives you an overview of your presentation of all the slides. And let's talk about the background. In this image in your reading, the background is this dark design with dark cubes, and they're designed in such a way that creates like a little wave on your slide. Again, all of these styles are based on a person's opinion. You could choose one that you like, but then you have to take in consideration when choosing backgrounds that the foreground or anything that's in front of it is easy to read, which is why in this dark background you have white as the color of the text, because if you have a black background and then you have black text, then you can't read the text because it's gonna basically be invisible in front of a black background. So when choosing backgrounds, make sure your text is the appropriate colors to cause just so it doesn't get difficult to read. Alright, so if you look at my PowerPoint right now, it's empty, but I'd want to use some kind of design. And we talked about design templates in class, which is a pre-designed model that helps to style all your slides for you. So let's go ahead and select one. We have our different tabs up here for different options, and we'll go to design. You click on design, you see a bunch of different design templates that you could choose from. Alright, these are pretty much the standard ones for PowerPoint, and if you hover your mouse over one, it'll give you a preview of how it's gonna look. So let's choose this one. I chose one with a dark background, as you see, and notice how it changes the color of the text for me. And that's what a design template is good for, because it's everything already designed, which is why they call it pre-designed, and you can just use it right out of the box, or just like that. And if you do feel like some of the design templates art or style still doesn't match what you're looking for, you can always build on top of it. So just because this has the color, and if you notice the text is a little bit gray as well, I don't like that, even though that's what the design template gave me. I can always go and change the color to how I see fit. Alright, so I'll put it to white because remember what we said, dark background, well, we need a light foreground. On these extra slides, so this is the title slide, and usually with these designs the title slide is different because the developers that created them know that, alright, this is a title slide, so we don't need to really provide a lot of space for info. It's just to show the topic of the presentation. When you come to the other slides, which is where you do add the subtopics and notes, then it gives you a different design, and that visually lets the audience know, alright, this slide is the presentation information. Alright, it's not the title slide anymore. So if I were to create a subtopic on the PowerPoint, maybe I can start with PowerPoint and I can put designs, and I can talk about designs. What's so good about designs? So easy to use designs, pre-designed templates, right? And so for different features of PowerPoint designs, right? That's just off the top of my head of a topic that I can present on, but it still falls under PowerPoint. Alright, now that we have a nice design template, we can go ahead and talk about transitions, which are special effects that when moving from one slide to the next in the slideshow, the special effects go and show or are shown when transitioning from one slide to the next. That's why they're called transitions. I'm just gonna pick an easy one or quick one from here. If you notice, there's a tab specifically for transitions, so it's right beside the design tab, and this depends on which PowerPoint you're using, right? This is I think 2016 I'm using, so let's just use split quick. All right, so I'll choose split for that one, and for this second page I'll choose fade. Right, so you can't see the transitions when you choose them. It gives you a preview. However, if you're going to click from slide to slide in the slide sorter, it's not going to show the transitions. If you want to see the transitions again, you either click on the transition on the selection here, or you start your slideshow. To start your slideshow, there's a small button here at the bottom of the page, and it looks kind of like a whiteboard or one of those screen projectors that slide down on a stand. So you click that and it starts the slideshow. I'm not sure if you guys can see this because I've never run a slideshow while streaming before, but I have the slideshow open. It's on my title page, and when I want to move to the next slide, I click on my mouse and the transition is shown to go from my title page to my first slide that says PowerPoint Designs. I click again and it fades out because that's the transition I chose for the third slide, although I don't have any information on my third slide yet. So those are transitions. Sometimes if you really want to go crazy with them and put a different transition on each slide, you can go ahead, but for most people it's just easier to just apply one transition to all by just selecting all by pressing Ctrl A on your slide sorter and just clicking on one transition. So on this image it shows you what we discussed just now using transitions. You open the transition tab, start the slideshow, you select that little button at the bottom there. New slide, well, you can do a new slide. I showed you earlier to right click on the slide sorter, you can choose new slide, or if you wanted to create a new slide from the tabs, you could just select insert and new slide on the top left corner. Alright, so we talked about design templates already, which is covered here as well. The last thing I guess we'll cover today is speaking or presenting. And I remember you guys presenting in groups, and a lot of you did exactly what you were not supposed to do. So the first thing as a speaker or a presenter you should do is know your audience. Um, you knew your audience in the case of the presentations that I assigned to you guys because, well, I was the one that wrote up the presentations topics, and then we decided as a class on which ones, right? So we knew our audience then because we were the audience in that case, or your fellow classmates were the audience. But you want to create a presentation that your audience can follow. If you're going to create a presentation for adults, then you can use more specialized words, maybe more difficult words, something that a child might not understand. However, if you're going to present to children, maybe in standard 1 or standard 2, then you'd want to write a presentation that they can follow. You won't use big words like pre-designed templates and transitions and stuff like that with children, right? You try to explain things that they will understand. The second point, this is where I saw a lot of you failing at, is summarizing the information. Do not include huge paragraphs in your presentation. Now, for those of you watching, you know what I'm talking about. A lot of copy and pasting were done in your presentations, and when you do that, I can easily tell that it's a copy and paste. I can see the little numbers, the indexes, and so forth when you're copy and pasting. And then some of you did take the reading that you guys did take the information, and you guys typed it over in a paragraph, but then you guys just pasted the paragraph into the presentation. And what that does is you have your audiences having to read a long paragraph and then also having to try and listen to what you're saying. So you see, having large paragraphs creates a competition between you, the presenter, and your own PowerPoint, and you don't want your PowerPoint to be taking attention away from you, because then at this point, are you presenting or is it the PowerPoint presentation doing the presentation, right? It's at the end of the day, it's you. You're the one that's presenting, not the software. So don't compete with your own work, all right? Put it out in points, like I did here. PowerPoint designs, easy to use. All right, but why is it easy to use? Well, I'll explain to you why. Pre-designed templates. Well, what is pre-designed templates when it comes to PowerPoint designs? I'll tell you, and then I go ahead and explain. Right? Don't include huge paragraphs. All right, it's distracting, or it'll cause your audience to lose interest because like I'm not gonna read all of that. I'm having to try listen to you at the same time. So, number 3, don't turn your back to the audience. This is something I think you've heard since primary school when you're doing group presentations. You shouldn't turn your back. You shouldn't fidget. You shouldn't put your hand in your pockets. Small things like that, right? You want the audience to know that you're talking to them and you're not talking to your software or your projector. I had people in the presentation reading from the PowerPoint, and reading from the PowerPoint isn't bad if you just do it for like a quick second or 2 seconds, but you have the ones that literally are reading from the PowerPoint, every word for word, and that's all they do. So again, are you presenting or are you reading? Because what's the point of you presenting if you're just gonna go up there and read what everyone can see already, right? So don't turn your back. Know your presentation, know your topic beforehand. And then the last point is good posture. As I said just now, I saw people with hands in their pockets looking down. You're presenting to an audience, you need to capture and maintain their attention towards you. If you seem uninterested or if you lack confidence, then they might think, well, you probably don't know what you're talking about. Or just like with point 3, if you're reading right from the PowerPoint, they can say, oh, well, you didn't even bother to practice or read your own work. Why should I listen to you? Why should you listen to someone who looks like they don't know what they're talking about? What's the point, right? So have that confidence, maintain a good posture. Don't put your hands in your pockets, right? Use your hands to gesture, use it to help again. Maintain attention from your audience, right? So those are 4 points again to speaking. And this isn't just for PowerPoint presentation, guys. This is for anything, anywhere that you must speak to people. You can follow these 4 points, right? Even if you don't have a presentation or a PowerPoint up on a projector, you can still follow these points, and you could do very well if you're speaking to a group of people, or if you're just speaking to one person. Follow these 4 steps. Know who you're speaking to. Summarize your information so you're not wasting their time. Do not turn your back because you want to be talking to the person, not talking to the wall, basically. And then have a good posture because you want them to look at you and say, all right, I want to hear what this person's talking about. He looks like he's talking about something important. Let me listen. Why? Because he's maintaining good posture. All right, so that's it for this week. Assignment will be posted Thursday. If you have any questions, email me, no problem. These grades are to help with some of the grades that aren't well. If you're doing poorly on grades, I do use these assessments to help bring up those poor grades. All right. Again, if there's any more questions, go ahead and email me. The email is found right in the classroom. It's one of the first posts that I did that says email on it. Alright. And that's it. Thursday, your assignment. Yeah. That's about it, guys. Have a good day. Enjoy today, tomorrow. Thursday, I'll post the assignment. Alright, guys. See you later.